Welcome to the video. Before we begin, if not already, please take a moment to subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. And click the bell icon to receive notifications when I upload. Comment your little heart out. And most of all, please enjoy. Now back to the video. Lose weight now? Ask me how. It's no secret, I'm not the skinny 110-pound string bean I was in high school. I had the metabolism of a jackrabbit. As I got older, I got heavier, became less active, got a desk job, and the rest is chocolate-covered history. I didn't see how some people would see me until I started doing YouTube. Some chose to be mean and comment on my weight, whatever. Insulting someone's appearance is the fallback of the lame. So to those immature wannabe bullies, all I can say is, relax. It's just weight. It comes and it goes. After all, your mother didn't seem to mind. This is Stephen King's Thinner. Robert John Burke is Billy Halleck. He's an obese upper-class lawyer. He's obese because of the horrible fat suit he wears through Act 1. I can't wait for the part where Jack Black falls in love with him. 300 pounds and off we go. He lives with his wife, Heidi, and their daughter in Connecticut. Connecticut? Not Maine? Are you sure this is Stephen King? He defends mafia boss Richie the Hammer Ginelli in court and gets him off a murder charge. I'm just gonna keep calling him the Hammer. It's too cool a nickname not to use. They celebrate in Billy's favorite way with non-diet friendly Italian food. The Hammer now owes Billy a favor to be called in anytime, which is a nice thing to have in the back pocket. Meanwhile, a Romani caravan is in town. Of particular interest to the men in Billy's office is Carrie Wurrer as Gina. Carrie Wurrer? I can never say her name right. You know, he really shouldn't flirt. The man sure likes to celebrate with food. His eating habits are unhealthy and probably leading to his doom.
All I think about is food.
But while driving home, his wife tries to make him think about something other than food. Great, now I'm thinking about hot dogs. Billy accidentally runs over an elderly Romani woman named Suzanne. I mean, he just clobbers her. She's dead. But it is nice to have friends in high places. Judge Kerry Rossington and Police Chief Duncan Hopley. They got his back.
Was Mr. Halleck traveling within the legal speed limit?
We have witnesses to that effect, and his skid marks confirm that. Mr. Halleck was as sober as a judge.
And a little perjury here, a little good old boys club there, and he gets off with barely a slap on the wrist. This is Tadzu, the speed bump's father. Yes, father. I mean, he's over 100 years old. He places his hand on Billy's face and curses him with a single word, Christine. Thinner. His eating habits don't exactly change, but he starts losing weight right away. Enough for his friends to immediately notice. The judge notices a patch of dry skin, but nobody thinks it's a big deal. Turns out Tadzu cursed him as well. He touched him in the chest. Rude. And he said something that we don't hear until later.
I ran into Mike Houston yesterday and he,
Ran into him a few times. Yeah, they bangin'. So he goes to Dr. Mike Wifebanger just in case the weight loss is the big C, but tests are negative, which is a positive thing. Meanwhile, the pounds keep falling off, while he still eats like Nico Avocado after smoking a joint. He's a cupcake away from making a mukbang channel. Like and subscribe! Carl Sagan wants his turtleneck back. Billy figures out something is definitely wrong with his friend, the judge. His wife thinks it's a curse.
Has he lost weight?
what are you talking about?
But instead of thinner, the judge's curse word was
Lizard.
Ooh, do we get to see it? No, not really, but we get a vivid description.
His skin is plating, turning into scales.
Dream sequences don't count. Even the experts don't have any clue what's happening. Tests reveal nothing, and they'll have to keep trying as long as the check's clear.
Whatever we did, we don't deserve this.
He goes to visit his other friend, the police chief. He too was cursed. I guess his word was inside-out jelly donut.
I want you to kill that old bastard, and you say it's for me.
He tries to give Billy a gun to kill the old guy, but he's not a killer unless there's fellatio involved. He's fine. I wish I had the guts to palm a rotisserie chicken like a barbarian. You know, he's still not unconvinced that his wife isn't messing around. You are here. Billy goes searching for the Romanis because he wants them to take off the curse or fight for Bricktop. Surprise, motherfuckers!
Return to the Glassman clinic before it's too late.
Why are you erect? He tells his wife he's going back to the clinic, but he's really looking for the Romanis. He's close, just missed him. But for some reason, a random realtor knows where they're going. A clue leads him to a carnival. He finds them, and they gloat. Dicks.
Sorry, mister, but you lose.
That's just petty. But at least he got a prize. I'm pretty sure there's intellectual property going on here. He should contact an attorney. Oh wait, he is one. Gina somehow doesn't scare off the other customers when she chases Billy away with a slingshot. She's so extra. But Lizard Guy shows up and saves him.
Get in, you idiot! I'm saving you, Billy! Isn't that what you want?
This is a dream, isn't it? So how much of that do we disregard? Not exactly all of it. Lizard Guy did actually drive his car into a gas truck yesterday. Missed him again. Random guy gives him directions. He calls home and talks to his daughter, but won't talk to that cheating and he finds them. He's like, now I got you where you want me.
She call you the white man from town.
We call her Imaginative Nickname Generator. Make your demands.
Now take your fucking curse off of me!
I never take it off.
Please? They stand their ground. Tatsu starts shaking his hand like he's gonna give him more curse, and his hand starts bleeding. It's like, dude, cut your nails. Well, that didn't work. What's plan B? By the way, why do only certain groups of people have that cursing ability? Are you born with it? Can you learn it? Asking for a friend?
I curse you! The curse of the white man from town!
My HOA will make your lives hell. Release the Karens. That goes as well as expected. Then Gina puts a round through his hand. On the plus side, he's ready for the next eclipse. Enough of this white man from town bullshit. It's time to call in the Italian mob. The Hammer still owes him for keeping him out of jail.
Should have called me earlier, Billy.
And it's actually kind of sweet. You kind of feel like it's more than, I owe you a favor, so I just do stuff for you. You kind of get the impression that Billy is now a part of the Hammer's family, and it's weirdly comforting to see someone who cares about him after everything. Of course, keeping someone out of prison is a pretty big deal. First, he sends a message. Then he gives treats to their dogs, so they'll pass along that message. That's what I'm going with, okay? Then he hires some muscle. 5 to look at it, 10 to touch it. And it doesn't end well for him. Please, Hammer, do hurt them.
But it was my mook.
I mean, screw subtlety at this point. The Hammer brings down the Hammer. And the power of one mobster with an AK versus a whole group is no contest. He's an army of one out there. Damn, maybe he should be in jail. The Hammer also tricks them into shooting one of their own, who happens to be Gina's husband. Why don't you curse the guys who shot him? Huh? But he ain't done. The Hammer impersonates an FBI agent, and I'm really getting Agent Rossi vibes here, and kidnaps Gina.
It was you!
He roughs her up a bit, threatens her with acid to the face, just to terrorize them a bit, but deliver the message. Release the curse or things will get worse. I didn't mean that to rhyme. Tatsu finally agrees to call it off. To take off the curse, he needs to bleed Billy into a pie.
You got to give it to this pie.
That sounds dirtier than it is. No condoms. He's essentially giving the curse to a pie.
You give this pie.
I know there was already a hole, but that just felt petty. But someone has to eat that pie, and soon. It's gonna spoil.
Eat your own pie. You die thin, but you die clean.
Tatsu suggests he eats it himself to have a clear conscience and die like a man. But he's like, no thanks, I'm full. He's headed home, already looking better. He sends his daughter to go stay at a friend's house, so he can be alone with the... So he brings the pie home. The weird, quivering pie. That's how you know it's fresh.
And I know what you've been thinking.
The first thing out of his wife's mouth is, I'm not fucking around.
There's never been anything between Mike Houston and me, never.
We've been doing it raw, baby. He's still convinced she's screwing around, so he wants her to eat some pie.
Giggity.
That is still not as dirty as it sounds. Which she does. The next morning, the effects are dramatic.
Yep. You tried it.
But to his horror, it turns out his daughter came home and also had some pie. And she left the dishes in the sink. Why do kids do that? Oh, sweet, sweet, delicious strawberry irony. She seems okay for now. Who knows? You know, they didn't really establish they have to eat the whole pie or just eat a little bit. He gave it to a group of people. Will they all die? Or is it the first one who eats a pie? I'm putting too much thought into this. So now he's distraught. Now he's just ready to do himself in and eat some pie himself.
Billy.
I guess he's gonna make him eat his wife's pie.
Giggity.
That was Thinner. You know, it took me a second to realize where I know Robert John Burke from. He took over for Peter Weller in RoboCop 3, but I won't hold that against him. He's a lawyer who defends criminals, enjoys food, and good roadhead. His desperation, his performance is enhanced by his makeup, and he really sells his condition.
Don't make me start, old man.
Cursemaker is our villain, I suppose. He curses Billy because not only does his carelessness cause the death of his daughter, but he used his position and connections to escape punishment. Ultimately, it was an accident, not intentional, and from other points of view, the worst crime here was the corrupt and unjust system. Someone got laid in college. Speaking of overreactions, we never really see if his wife is having an affair. There's little hints that could point to it, but it could just be Billy's paranoia. So you have a corrupt lawyer in this corner, and a band of mean, curse-dealing, slingshot-shooting people in the other. The lines between good and evil are somewhat blurred. It's easy to see both sides, but it's also hard to sympathize with either side. I'm saying maybe try civil court next time. It worked on OJ. Too soon?
This has been out of hand.
I think my favorite character was the Hammer. I love Joe Montana. Ever since he quarterbacked for the 49ers, kidding, I know who he is. In the movie, his character just kind of goes away after his reign of terror. Not a lot of tension, you kind of see where it's going. Most of the performances are decent, and they hold things together. Some performances are overly dramatic, and Gina is meant to be fiery, but mostly comes across as overacting and trying too hard. And stop spitting so much. The story isn't exactly a thrill ride, and I found it hard to side with the protagonist. It's a slow-paced horror movie that turns into a crime spree in the third act. It's cathartic when the pace picks up and things start going in Billy's favor, but it also feels out of place. But honestly, the movie needed a shot in the arm. I was getting bored. Thinner is an intriguing concept, but the movie just kind of fumbles it. It wore a little thin. Thinner is 3 Bs. Little behind the scenes here. I rate movies according to a scale I work out on a spreadsheet. I rate plot, characters, dialogue, etc. on a scale of 1 to 5, and I take that average and I usually round that off. This one came to 3.14. Pi. Get it? You can't make this up. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment the bell, you know, the usual YouTube stuff. This is theNewBee, and I'll see you later, kids. Toodles! Can I curse myself to get Mr. Beast's numbers?